I'm Malcolm Poole. I'm the president of the board of Friends of Casco Bay. The mission of Friends of Casco Bay is to protect the health of the bay and to enhance the understanding of this and the science behind what affects that health. I'm very impressed with the science-based approach to our inquiries, how we make it visible to the public through a number of different media approaches, and really give an effort to communicate fairly. In 2007, there was a little bit of a vacuum in leadership. I volunteered to take over the position of chair, and I've been doing that job now for 7 years and going on my 8th. In designing our board year, I usually start in midsummer when we're off time, not having meetings, and design a whole year's worth of meetings with the executive director and the baykeeper. With that in mind, we come up with a topic or two that is really important to go over in the course of the year. And we allow that schedule to stand even with the events that come up from time to time. I find this is the heart of communicating an exciting year to the board members, making them excited about what's to come. We've used guest speakers, we've used special presentations by the staff members, and have debates amongst ourselves as the board. When I first started, we had 40% attendance was the norm, maybe 50, and now we're close to 75 to 85% at each meeting, and the people who are reporting in that they can't come are genuinely disappointed that they can't be part of our conversation. At Friends of Casco Bay, we've developed a product that we call Bay Papers, and Bay Papers came from the idea that we wanted everybody on the board to be able to make a 30-second presentation, like an elevator speech, about what we were about and why we were about it. We've designed a one-page, maybe a page and a half discussion of the important topics, and we're now distributing those around the community to help educate and make visible our process. The backbone of our effectiveness as a board comes from the leadership we get from the executive director, who with us designed an effective strategic plan, a 5-year plan, that we've condensed down to just 3 pages of really thoughtful insight into which direction the organization should go. Every year the board, with the executive director, puts together an operating plan, which is many pages. I think this year we're about 40. And it gives a whole bunch of history, and it also the logic behind each of our initiatives that we're proposing to take on. And from the strategic plan and the operating plan, we're able to pull out a budget that backs it up. I think the second important element of our governance approach is the structure of our meetings, which I mentioned earlier. Having a good, clear mission for each meeting with 2 topics that we know we're going to cover because it's important for the year to cover the whole breadth of topics, but then leaving room for questions from the staff to the board and debate amongst the board about the important issues of the day, whether it's the use of our logo on for-profit products for sale, or it's talking about the engagement with other nonprofits in their approach. The meeting structure allows us to cover all these top 2008 downturn and the New Era planning group that we put together to respond to that. More recently, we see that it's time for succession planning, and we have a special leadership group coming together for that. So again, responding to the externalities and the internalities, using the people on the board is very important. Raising funds for our capital needs is something that the board has as a primary mission. We have a new boat, and with a group of dedicated board members, we put our heads together, and we're able to raise enough money for a brand new boat plus 10 years of operating expenses, and that's all on top of the normal annual campaign operating revenue that we would go after. Because boards are an organic grouping of people, there's turnover, and that's a good thing. And to do it well, particularly with long-term board members, 9 years being a typical tenure for a full board membership, and the staff, we have a planning process that we hope will go to all the corners and develop the thoughtful approach to moving from who's doing things now to who will do it in the future and how we'll get there.